Hey everybody, Bob Babbitt here. Welcome to CAF's Heroes of Sport. Each week you'll meet some of the world's most amazing challenged athletes. Our guest this week, Justin Meaders, amazing background. Hey Justin, first of all, welcome to Heroes of Sport. Great to finally meet you.
Great to meet you and glad to be here. This is awesome. I'm glad that you guys are doing this.
So, grew up in a small town in Texas, Mineral
Yep.
Wells. Got your first motorcycle when you were 5 years old. Was that it? That was like, I am a motorcycle guy. I'm gonna be racing.
Pretty much. It was all downhill from there. No, it was motorcycles and bicycles and any kind of activity that I could do to stay active. I always wanted to be involved.
So, and through college, you fire academy, firefighter, EMT, and
Right.
You're still riding and racing motorcycles. Take me back, 1999. You're 22 years old. Now, were you racing pro at that time?
I was a pro. Yeah, it was road racing, on the road course where you're actually, leaned over, dragging your knee in the turns and stuff like that, going really fast. And was also still, was doing being a firefighter at the same time, but you have a lot of time off. So there's a lot of time to do activities like that. So was doing that as a pro and had the accident, obviously, that left me paralyzed. And then I knew what I was doing was dangerous. So I knew that I had to continue. I wasn't just going to sit around and feel sorry for myself. I wanted to continue and be active. So I got into handcycling and then racing chairs, and then swimming.
Your transformation was pretty quick. A lot of people, there's that, obviously depression. You're
Right.
You're going 150 miles an hour on a motorcycle. Next thing you
Right.
know, the motorcycle's landing on you and you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
But within a very short period of time, you went out and bought yourself a handcycle after getting out of the hospital. Was it one of those things where because of what you were doing, you knew that was a possibility?
Honestly, I thought there was two options. I thought I would have broken bones, or I thought I would be dead from a motorcycle accident. I never really knew anything about the in-between. I didn't know anybody that was paralyzed before I was paralyzed. So I never even really thought of that option. But once I was faced with that reality, I knew that I had to continue moving forward in my life. I couldn't just sit around and be stagnant.
So you bought your own handcycle and you rode it every day. And 6 months later, you're doing your first race.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
You are one of those guys who's just like, okay, my new love, I'm going there.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
From handcycling, then you get yourself like a clunker race chair and start doing road races.
Exactly. Yeah, it was just an old racing chair. A buddy of mine that I had, met through handcycle racing. He had it just laying around in his garage. I fixed it up, started doing running events with it, marathons, half marathons, stuff like that, and then eventually started swimming because I knew I wanted to do triathlons. So put all three of them together and then started doing triathlons.
Now, at that point, I think when you got into triathlons, something like 2014, something in that era, that was 2016 was going to be the first ever Paralympic para-triathlon.
Right.
And you were on the national team and you were racing at a high level, right? You were on the podium. Yeah. Was that something you were thinking about, is going to potentially para-tri?
Yeah, I was actually considering trying to make the team to go to what was that, Rio? I guess
Rio,
it was the first one. Yeah. But at the same time, so all the airplane stuff was coming together at the same time that I did. So it was kind of a decision. Do I want to continue with the paratriathlon on that level, or do I want to get more involved with the air racing? And airplanes won out.
So in similar to driving a van, you got yourself hand controls and flying the plane. Were the other pilots worried about racing against the guy who was using hand controls?
I think once I was there and I proved that I could do it, no, I don't think they were concerned with it. But beforehand, I think they were concerned, and rightfully so. I need to be able to prove myself that I can do it safely to be able to race with those guys. So
when did CAF come in your life?
Let's see. I think actual triathlon started for me around 2010 or something like that. And then I think it was it was either right as I was getting started with triathlon or just after, just before, I can't remember if it was just before or just after. I want to say that I don't think I had, maybe I had done one triathlon by the time I actually got involved with CAF.
Yeah.
And
what we bring to the table for you?
Oh, that opened my eyes completely to everything, all the possibilities. And then of course helped with grants and stuff like that. And being that I was a first responder, then I was part of the OR team and all that stuff. So that was huge.
That's
and
very
seeing the kids out there doing everything that they're doing, and then just being involved with that. Actually, it was one of the CAF kids, Cody McCaslin, who that was my contact into the CAF. Him and his mom were like, you need to get involved with CAF. So
that's cool. With Tina and Cody. Cody,
right.
Started working with him, he was like 4, 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
He would
I believe I met them in 2004 or 5 at the Dallas Marathon, and then just started getting involved with their family and hanging out and going and doing stuff with those guys.
So you not only become a pilot, you're the first paraplegic pilot to become an air racing pilot, rookie of the year in 2018. Win
16.
the Formula One Air Racing World Championships, and you're on the plane that you designed and built.
Right.
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it was, so 16 was my first year racing. I got the rookie of the year that year. And then I was building my plane the whole time. So then actually 2018 was the debut year for my new airplane that we built, and went out and won the championship with that airplane the first year. So that was
the logo on it.
Oh yeah, huge on the back there. Yeah.
I like it. So are there dollars in air racing? Is it something that you can be, obviously it's professional, but is it professional enough where you can just do that?
Probably not. I mean, flying airplanes, you can definitely do professionally, obviously, but racing airplanes, there's a small amount of money involved in it, but it's not enough to cover the costs of racing. You have to have support in other ways, like sponsors and just all kinds of different help.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're flying, how fast are you guys going?
My race plane, I've had to 320 miles an hour.
Oh my God. And when you're racing, explain to me because I've seen the Red Bull stuff where they're going in and out of pylons.
Sure.
Is it similar to that? Is that what you guys are doing?
We do have pylons. Our pylons are fixed pylons that are on a rigid pole. So we fly about 50 feet off the ground. And where Red Bull is one airplane at a time, we fly 8 airplanes at a time. So we are actual race in the air. So that we're passing, I believe I sent you guys a photo. Yeah. That's not Photoshop. We really do fly that close together. So, we're within feet of each other when we're passing and stuff. So it's pretty tight racing.
Have there been some scary moments up there?
I've had a couple, yeah. And there have been some accidents. Recently, there have been nothing too scary, but there has been a few bumps and stuff like that. You obviously don't want to touch another airplane with your airplane, but sometimes, not with my airplane. I haven't touched anybody with my airplane, but I've been involved in a race where 2 airplanes did touch, but everybody came out okay.
Wow. When you look back at your journey from getting injured in '99 and everything you've accomplished, from hand cycling to racing chair to para-triathlon, now racing planes, when you look back at it, does it seem like, oh my God, I can't believe everything I've done?
It does. I know that I'm very blessed to be able to do everything that I've done, and hopefully continue doing tons of more cool stuff as we go. But yeah, it does seem like it was a lot of in a short period of time. I've been able to get a lot done.
Was there a low point for you after the accident?
I mean, I think there's always low days for sure. When you're really trying to, when it's, everybody has bad days, and there's, things that you have to just kind of work through and stuff like that. I don't know that I had any huge depression, which I'm very grateful not to have had. But again, I knew what I was doing was dangerous. So I knew there could be some terrible possibilities. But I honestly think that it sounds weird, but the path that I'm on now, even as a paraplegic, I think my life has gone on a better path than probably the path I would have been on had I not become a paraplegic,
No,
which
why do you
is
say that?
sounds odd. I just think that it opened more doors for me and opportunities to meet different people, like anybody, everybody I've met just even being involved with the CAF and stuff like that, that I probably would have just gone on to live a normal, able-bodied life. Nothing wrong with that, but I think it opened up opportunities that I would have never even realized were possible before.
Well, you think about it, yeah, like when during triathlon, you're racing in Edmonton and you're traveling the
Right.
world, which
Right.
wouldn't have happened. And then
Yeah.
you're air racing. What have been some of the cool places where you've been racing?
Oh, my favorite was Thailand. We got to race in Thailand twice, which was amazing.
Very
Really cool. Yeah. Yeah.
That
We have we have a travel series, so we get to go to some pretty cool places, but definitely Thailand was the coolest place we've raced so far.
Yeah, I always thought as a triathlete, it was a pain in the butt to travel with your bike. But what the hell? How do you get your plane to a
Right.
race?
Yeah, so they come apart and then they go into a container and go on a boat over.
Oh my God. So obviously planning is a big part of this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It takes about a month to get everything over and through customs and stuff like that.
That is unbelievable. Is
Yeah.
there a favorite CAF moment for you?
I mean, there's been so many cool moments with CAF, but I really think everything that I've done with CAF that involved any of the kids, I came and mentored and coached at one of the kids' camps.
Yeah.
And that was probably my favorite thing I've done so far with CAF.
That
was a lot of fun.
was that one of the amputee run or one of the camps here in San Diego?
It was, yeah, it was. I don't remember which year that was. Actually, I came out and did it with. I can't remember who all was there. I think, Triathlon Kids Camp. Yeah, yeah.
Love that. That's always so much fun.
Oh, it was a blast.
So, is your plane big enough for other people, or is it just a one-seater?
It's a one-seater. Yeah, race planes are usually no anything that's not essential is not in them for just for to keep them as light and as sporty as possible.
Now, are you married with kids and all that type of stuff?
Nope, single, no kids, just playing with airplanes and trying to stay fit and still training and stuff for triathlons, but I haven't actually raced any in a little while.
So yes, I was going to ask about that. How important is that fitness for flying?
Oh, very important. Yeah, you have to maintain pretty good fitness to be able to do what we do. We're, in the turns, we're probably somewhere in the 260, 280 mile an hour with about 6 Gs. So it's pretty heavy in the turns. And if you're not physically fit, you're just not going to be able to continue doing that kind of stuff. It's hard on the body. How
has COVID affected the race series and just being able to do what you love to do?
It canceled our whole season for 2020. We didn't get to do any racing at all. Hopefully we'll be back for 2021. We have 2 races right now scheduled, so hopefully everything continues to go and work out. But we'll see. Who knows with the way everything's going. But we're hopeful.
You're one of those guys who's always looking for that next adventure. I'm imagining you're already maybe looking a little off-road stuff, or what are you looking at?
Well, we're looking into doing some speed records with the airplane now, just to set some new records. We're actually in the process of working on another airplane now for a whole different kind of flying. It's called STOL flying, so that's short takeoff and landings, and there's competitions for that. And of course, just normal flying that I do too. Anytime I can get in the air, I go flying.
What's the best part about flying? Is it just that escape, that feeling that, man, I control everything?
Well, it's that and just the freedom. As soon as my airplane leaves the ground, it feels completely free. So I'm getting away from, when I'm flying the airplane, I don't even, you don't realize that you're a paraplegic or that you have anything going on. It's like you're just at one with the airplane and you're up there just cruising around. So it's definitely a freedom.
How important is it for you to be that role model for the next kid or the next adult who's, all of a sudden they had a motorcycle accident and they're paralyzed and they don't know what life is going to hold for them?
Oh, I think that's hugely important. It was important for me to have people to look to and to talk to and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely enjoy helping anyone that I can realizing their potentials. You know, if they see me being able to fly an airplane, even if they don't want to fly an airplane, they were like, well, if he can fly an airplane, I can probably do whatever it is that they want to do. So I think I really enjoy being able to do that for other people.
I love it. Hey, Justin, it's such a pleasure to get to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Yeah. And I love the fact that we're talking when para-tri, you're 4th in Chicago and 3rd in Dallas and 12th in the grand final in Edmonton.
Right.
When I look at 2014, I'm going, he would have gone to Rio and get a little potentially medals at some point. You can always go back to that though.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've talked about several times about coming back. It just depends on how the airplane racing goes. We'll see. It takes a lot of time to continue to train and all that kind of stuff, and then make sure the airplane's ready and stuff. But I try to stay fairly fit so that I could get back into triathlon. Maybe not national team ready, but definitely enough that I could go back and get to that point again pretty quickly.
I love it. Hey, Justin, thanks for taking time. Thanks for being part of the CAF family. It's been an honor to have you on Heroes of Sport.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me. It was awesome. Thank you.
Justin Meaders has been our guest, everybody. Heroes of Sport, and we'll catch you next time.